Bookish friends, welcome to another Bookish talk video. In the month of August, because of garbaugust, which is a readathon that is created by criminally and hosted by many wonderful booktubers, thought a lot about garbage or trashy books when I was tagged to do the garbaugust tag by Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. I came across an article which talks about 40 trashy books you should read before you die, or something like that. When I looked at the list, I saw that I read so many of the authors or the books themselves when I was growing up, and it made me realize that I was very closely associated with garbage books or trashy books when I was becoming a frequent reader. And by using that article, as well as a few editions of my own, made a list of the authors that I read when I was a teenager, who actually wrote books that can be considered trash. Very interestingly, many of the books from those authors were present in my parents' library, so I guess they also read trashy books, so I will admit that we are a family who reads trash. Anyway, let's go back to the list. There were many books from Robbins in my parents' library, which I read with enthusiasm. Although not as much as Robbins, there were few books from Jacquline Susann in my parents' library, and I've read them. And I've read some books from Irving Wallace. The content of those books were actually quite racy. There were some adventure books from James A. Michener, really engaging books from Arthur Hailey, which were all present in my parents' library. And two additional authors who were not in my parents' library, but their books are unfortunately considered trash by many of the critics. Sidney Sheldon and Danielle Steel. I took out their books from the library all the time. Really did love their content and their engaging plots a lot. So those were the authors that came to my mind after reading that article, which I will link down below, of course. After making that list, I think I came up with two very interesting points. The first one is quite personal. Ella Corrier's Horror Stories made a comment in my garbaugust tag video, which said that most of the trashy books that she read as a kid and as a teenager were her mother's books, and she didn't care what Ella read at all. It was more important that she was a reader. And after reading that comment and rethinking about that list, which I came across in the article, I realized that I was in the same position as Ella. I always thank my parents for introducing me to reading when I was a child, and gifted books all the time. And after that, they opened up their library once I learned quite good English, so that I could read full-length novels, which was around the time that I was 14 or 15. They never limited my reading or hid any books, most probably not suitable for my age. Like Ella said, they just cared that I was reading, and I was reading in English, because they knew that reading is the best method for actually learning a language really well. When I'm seeing some of the helicopter parenting that is happening in some of the families, I feel very blessed to have such great parents who trusted me and gave me freedom to choose what to read or how to act, actually. And the second point that I took away from this was the realization that garbage books or trashy books are actually quite engaging books, which can easily get you into reading. At least that seems to be my personal experience with trashy books. After talking about those authors, I realized that I want to read their works so badly. I am thinking of participating garbaugust if the hosts choose to do it next year. I will allow myself to read from old favorites and dive into garbage books in the following months too. So please comment down below what you think of my teenage trash list. Have you read any books from those authors in the list? If you're a new viewer, first of all, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Hope to see you very soon. Bye. As for Turkish word of the day, I'm going to choose 40. 40 means 40 in Turkish, and 40 is our Turkish word of the day. Have a good day.